Hi, welcome back. I am now in my studio and I'm going to go over some mixing techniques, tips and tricks. This video is going to be about mixing different shades of green. We're going to start with that, it's the same green that's on the leaves and it's the green that's appearing over this dark area. So we're going to do that green first. If you have any pieces that have that in there, you want to go ahead and watch. Make sure my brush is nice and clean. And we're going to begin by, first of all, I want to show you what green without anything added to it looks like. And you can see the canvas showing through. It is very see-through. We don't want that. We do want a very, a more solid situation. So we're going to go ahead and put some green down. We're going to go ahead and scoop out some yellow. And we're going to mix the two together. But even this on its own is also very see-through. So the way we're going to change that is we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of white. And when I say a little bit, it was just a pinch of white. And then I'm going to add a pinch of black. Not a ton, but just a pinch. And mix it up really well. I'm going to do a swatch. Do you see how that is not see-through like the other colors? So that is that kind of a grass green color that exists in as the base layer on this hillside, including behind there. It appears behind in there, and it ends up being the dots on this upper hillside. So that's how we make that. I might need an extra plate for this. The next green that we're going to mix is going to be this bright green. That is the base of, that is the under layer. That is the background color on these two hillsides, and is also the background color of those trees, which were just done in dots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and do the same thing. Mix yellow and green together, but this time I'm going to add some more white. And if it's too dark or too light, I will adjust it. That looks pretty accurate to that color over there. I want to make sure it's nice and mixed on my brush before I do a swatch. Move this over. Oh, look at that. So again, yellow and green, and then you just add white. Very simple. But you start with about equal parts of yellow and green, and then you add white, and then you see and look at it and decide if it needs more yellowness or it needs more greenness. If it's too green, then you add yellow and white. If it's too dark, you add white. If it's too light, then you add more green and yellow. So the next one we're going to focus on is going to be the this tealish green color. And the way we do that is really simple. We're going to go ahead and grab some of the green, and we're going to scoop out some of the white, and we're going to mix them together about equal parts. And this is this light color that exists as the underlayer or the background color in this section right there. That is on the bunch of these leaves, and that is also the color of the ferns. We're going to go ahead and do a swatch of that color. Looks pretty close to me. It's definitely a very teal, bright color. The next one we're going to do is going to be this darker teal color, and that is really easy. We already have we mixed equal parts of blue and white to get teal. Well, we're going to use less white this time. a lot less white. So 2 times as much green, approximately, a lot less white. I'm going to go ahead and do a swatch. And you can see the difference. And this color exists in these leaves and also up in one of the little sections that is right over there. So next we're going to do the color of these trees. They look black, but they're more of a dark green. And the undercolor of this hillside right over here. Not the green dots, but the undercolor. It looks almost black, but it isn't. And I'm going to use a separate plate for that. So we're going to go ahead and grab some green. And we're going to go ahead and grab some black. And we're going to mix the two up until we get almost black, but it still has a hint of greenness in it. Do you see how there's still a little bit of greenness in it? But it looks almost black. And when you paint it on in 2 coats, because as we should do 2 layers of everything, it's going to look almost black. It does look very black, but it has a hint of greenness to it. So it's not pure black. It is black with a little bit of green in it. And that is how we make that color. Lastly, I want to go over, in the picture, you'll see lots of different colored dots. To acquire these dots, you use a lot of different greens. And in there somewhere is more of an olive colored green. And it's not a color that you can look at and say, oh, there's more of an olive colored green. It's very mixed in, but it is included in a lot of these sections where there's dots. So if your section has it, this is how you would make the green. And when I'm mixing greens, I end up with a lot of green combinations. And so whichever color I need, I then dip right into it. I'm going to use a separate plate for that. I'm going to start out by scooping up a little bit of yellow on my plate. And I'm going to put a little bit of green. I don't know how much I need yet. I'm not making large amounts because it's just for demonstration purposes. And so it just turns into like a lighter grass green. We're going to add a pinch of white. Again, remember, white makes it less see-through. And then we're going to add some brown to it. And how much brown just sort of depends on how much paint you're mixing, of course. But you're going to mix it until you get a nice olive type of green. I think I need a little bit more yellow. There we go. Very olive green. Once it's fully mixed, I'm going to go ahead and do a swatch. Look at that. There we go. And that is how we get the olive green color. Looks really similar to grass green, but it is a lot more yellowy and has kind of a different level of darkness in it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to seeing all these sections back at the office and watching the painting come to life.